Undefeated.
Devin Haney, Lomachenko.
All right, Lomachenko.
Lomachenko.
Go on. The floor's yours, bro.
Yeah, I mean,
go
on. Let me ask you first. Let me ask you. No, I'm going to ask you first. Have you watched the fight back since?
No.
Oh, see, this is where you're dropping the ball, fam. Yeah.
No, I haven't.
I've watched the fight back twice now in total. Yeah. Once before Monday Night Smoke.
Yeah. I watched that. I watched it twice.
And then since then, I've watched it back.
After Monday Night Smoke?
Yeah. I went back. I watched it again. I watched it again because I'm thinking to myself, let's just have another look. Look. You know, I came up with the exact same scorecard. Now, for me, I'm just like, everyone's jumping out. Everyone's going crazy over this subject. Like, let's just give credit. Let's just salute both of these fighters for putting on a great high-level display of boxing. Because that's what it was. Like, Lomachenko is no bum. Lomachenko is no soft guy. I was wrong in my prediction. I thought that Father Time was knocking on his door, with injuries that surgeries that he's had. I thought, he's going to come in. He won't be himself. He was in there. He looked great. He looked fantastic. Devin Haney is not supposed to match him. You know what I'm saying? Like, when he's on his day, he was on his day. And Devin Haney was right there with him. It was a very close fight, And what's funny is that they're skirting on both lines here. Because, I think we definitely covered exactly all of our feelings on Monday Night Smoke. But people are skirting both lines. Because on one hand, it's a super close fight. On the other hand, it's an absolute robbery and an injustice that this has happened. And I'm looking at this, I'm thinking to myself, those two things do not live together. Those two statements and feelings do not live together. I think people's feelings about how this fight has gone is skewing how they want to talk about it. Because we've seen Tim Bradley was the commentator for that fight, and he was heavy Team Loma in his thing. And he revealed in an interview with Fight Hype that it's kind of the plan. He's going to talk about Loma, and my man's going to talk about Haney, Andre Ward, right?
So, and that's what he tried to do.
That's how they play it. So fair to them on that. He might have gone a bit too crazy for Loma certain times, but it is what it is. He said, I've watched the fight back again, and it wasn't as crazy as I thought it was in the moment. Shakur Stevenson's come back, and he's not gone all the way to the other side. He's been very much like, it could be a draw. If not a draw, then, Loma by a round. And you start thinking, okay, cool. So you lot do realize that you were just a bit too excited beforehand. Yeah, man, then we're jumping and screaming, robbery, this is crazy. This is why people hate watching boxing. It's like, you lot did too much. My thing is, if everybody's doing that, why is it that some of you can't? It just goes to show how difficult this judging process is in a fight like that. Where top professionals are saying, I feel extremely passionate this way, but then I'm like, on second hand, no, it wasn't that mad. And then we start to get to the space where you say, well, did he do enough to take the belt from the champion?
And that's the final piece. That's where I'm like, I'm almost willing to concede on the thing of you have to take the belts. Like the challenger has to come and say, give me those, right? Now, when I said about those rounds not being close, but then when I still maintain that thing about in terms of 10 and 11, for me were like just rounds where I said, okay, this is clear dominance. Like it depends what everyone's looking for in your style of boxing, right? Some people say, you look, them body shots, they mean everything. The body shots add up. And the way he was landing those compared to some of the flurries that he looked busy, but not every single flurry was landing. You know what I mean? There's different things that some people say, just for the busyness alone, I've got you up on my scorecard, right? Again, we all started to come to the understanding of the thing with CompuBox, right? It's just that we don't know who's running it. You know what I mean? And we just don't know, like, again, that just could be some guy. You know what I mean? It's not like their gloves got sensors on them, and then it can read it, right? It's down to human error. Again, that's by the looks of somebody that can say, yep, this is how much was thrown that round. So even now, we got to get to the stage of throwing CompuBox out there. The one thing that was moving me, not so much the commentators, but the crowd. So, like a shot or a thing can sound more vicious when you do hear everyone get up and everyone is, you know, because I'm watching it and I'm hearing stuff and I'm like, bro, like, okay, look, this is his moment in the fight. And it felt like there was more of those moments. It's that battle rap. You might watch a battle rap right at that moment and be like, yo, it's a 3-0. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Then after you go back and watch him, like,
you hear the bars, and it's like, we're really barring like I thought.
like, yeah. Crowd reaction, everything in that room made it feel like it was, but this guy was going in. So again, for me, like, I'm at a place though where I think a draw would have been fine. But it's not the worst. What the place that I've got to is, I feel like people are acting as if it was the absolute worst decision in boxing. Like, I've seen real robberies. Like, again, that was a close one. I would have called it differently. I still stand by that thing. You know, in my eyes, it felt like it's either like a Loma victory, draw. I'm cool with that, like, from what I saw. But then it is what it is. End of the day, you lost, you move on. And that's it. Like, where can you go from here? Like, I think trying to crying is not going to get you your belts back. Even putting the thing forward, if it didn't work, it hasn't worked in the past for people that have lost their title. Like, they ain't gonna. You're not gonna get nothing from doing it. So it's almost kind of, and it's almost changing my opinion or look on things. I'm like, bro, like, enough now, man. Just
get over
like,
it.
yeah, like,
get
bro,
over
like,
it.
come on, like, we've seen this in boxing. This is boxing, unfortunately. So
if
you
don't take the belt from the champ, this is the type of stuff you leave yourself open to. And you want to come out and be like, yeah, you took it easy in the 12th round. Well, bro, calm down on the arrogance, fam. You're the challenger in a championship fight, and you're going to the points. You're going onto the scorecard. Excuse me, bro. You made this mistake before. Teofimo Lopez, you got to learn from your own mistakes if that's something that you feel is a decision you can make. Do you know what I mean? And then we start to move into a different place where it's like, bro, like, it's a close fight and the decision didn't go your way. So now it's a robbery. It feels very entitled. It's starting to feel very much like Michaela Mayer, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? Like the Michaela Mayer Baumgardner fight. A lot of man was screaming about that fight. And then you implore these people to go back and watch these fight. Then they turn to the CompuBox stats. CompuBox stats are in favor of Baumgardner. Then what now then? No, but in the room, everybody went crazy. That is not a way to judge the fight. The Katie Taylor fight on Saturday, she was losing to Chantel Cameron. Chantel Cameron was doing everything correctly. But anytime Katie Taylor threw a shot, the place erupted. You cannot judge rounds on the crowd's participation.
No, but sometimes in that situation, it was too far in between. In this Loma fight, because he was landing flurries, like Katie Taylor was getting the 2 shots in a 2-minute round. Like, she weren't really, there wasn't a busyness, right? So then sometimes the crowd went up, but it was short-lived. It was like, do you know what I mean? Like, there was and the moments of silence kind of let us understand, well, this person's dominating it, because I ain't hearing from you, crowd, as much as I should be hearing from you throughout a round, is what I'm saying.
It was similar in the Loma Haney situation, though. The crowd was very much Lomachenko's crowd.
Yes.
And they would go mad whenever he threw any shots.
But he threw his shots in bunches, though.
Yeah, but
for me, there was a few more. And that's what I'm saying. There's a few I saw in the rounds that I was saying, even though, like, obviously 3 minutes, I didn't see Haney getting crazy and working the body, but I saw Loma trying to work him, and some shots weren't landing. I agree with that. Some shots where they looked like there was more than, it's not like he flew one flurry per round. He was trying to throw flurries. Now, the thing is, they were reacting to, there was a lot more to react to than exactly the difference of, in Katie Taylor's, bro, it was, we were clutching at straws. Like, and they wanted to shout.
The fact is, it's still a similar thing, though, because Loma wasn't dominating whole rounds.
Yeah.
He was having these punch flurry bursts in the round. You can almost tell by the crowd's reaction how long this moment was. And it was never that long. In the up times where there's nothing going on as far as excitement, Haney's landing the body shots. Still, it's still happening. Do you know what I'm saying? I mean, either way, look, we don't need to dash down.
The killer is, end of the day, like, and as you said, right, end of the day, this fight's happened, it's done. They're not going to see each other again. I know Shakur's come out and said, you should fight him again, just so the people don't look at your record and say, that one's going to follow him forever, innit? So just make it clear. And that's funny him saying that because boom, he's supposed to be wanting to see him next, right? But
I find it interesting. I think it's one of those things, right? I saw a tweet today where somebody was saying how he goes, people keep talking about this run back the rematch thing, otherwise people are going to use this thing against you. But it's like at the same time, Floyd fought Castillo, and it was a tricky one, right? And people bring that up to this day as if he didn't go back and dominate him in the second fight. It didn't change anything. And now, if you look at the modern era, we are in an era of the shortest memories, not like going.
Oh, where, yeah.
No one's going to care. If Devin Haney goes and announces that he's going to fight Tank next, I promise you, no one's going to be talking about Lomachenko.
Sorry, because that fight there is crazy.
No one.
That fight there is insane.
That's what I'm saying. Just the sound of it, just straight away, is like, rah, yeah,
we're ready to move. We're ready to.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. It's like it's hard. Go on, carry on.
Yeah, no, it's like you look at Lomachenko's career, right? There's a lot of like you had a nice route in this thing. There's a lot of entitlement that would have crept in because even after the Teofimo fight, he left there saying robbery. I won that fight. He did an interview not too long ago saying how in my mind I'm undefeated. I've never lost. I'm thinking to myself, you're low-key deluded. No, I get it.
They all are. They all are. We've learned that with boxers.
No, but I hear you. But when Wilder was moving mad and he had his firm belief he was cheating and all this type of stuff, bro, it's not exactly the same. But there's a level of entitlement that these men are rolling with where I'm like, bro, chill out, bro. Like, my man he's had, bro, I feel like he had a title shot on his second fight when he came through because the amateur career was so glistening. You just skipped the queue. This time around, he weren't mandatory. You just skipped the queue. You've been able to go out for undisputed a couple times and you lost. Like, bro, it's getting close and it's not being there. It's not the same thing. I mean, getting close and being there is not the same thing. Like, even
it's hard. I think for champions, we've started to see something just in, if you look back, like, let's look at the list of champions. Even with the AJ thing in most recent years, AJ Wilder, Lomachenko, who else that has taken the L and they've not recovered? Even Ruiz, bro. I don't even know if you saw the Ruiz stuff that came out just the other day. Insane. And it's like, it's the fall from grace for a champion, and it's especially when they've been undefeated as well. It twangs them. Like, it's like they in their mental, they're never supposed to. They ain't predicting a loss. You said this with the Wilder things that we don't know what those losses did to Wilder, and as you can see, the damage of him losing and his belief in himself, to like turning up to a presser with headphones on and doing stuff that is not normally you. Now, when you're talking about with Loma, bro, this guy's been the Matrix, living in the Matrix. Life has been good, and it's all gone my way. I've gone against Teofimo Lopez. There's been bad blood, and he beats me. And I can't get in my head that this guy's beat me. The same with Canelo. When Canelo got beat up by our guy, by Bivol, right? When he took that, he said, I didn't lose. Like, these men, they can't picture themselves in that negative way, and it messes with them. It messes with these fighters because it strips back some self-belief. Even when we talk, we probably look at a Chris Eubank thing, and he hasn't really been like a champion, but the way he's gone down, he's prided himself on the grand action and never being hurt by anyone. Now, all of these things are to consider. So I always look down to all the breakdowns of these fighters. So now what Loma has to deal with is they don't look at me the same anymore. But then that's an issue. But then the internal question is, do I look at myself the same anymore? Right? So that it might be easier to say, oh, you lot are chatting shit. I'm the same. All you lot are wrong. I'm exactly me. Because if I jump into that psyche of they're not looking the same and I don't feel the same anymore, I've lost. You know what I mean? So that's what he's doing. When you see the tears and the breakdown and all these other things, it's like you're looking at this fighter saying, you're just that's internal dialogue that's getting crazy, and you have to come to terms with it and move on. But it hurts to these fighters that are coming to the end of their careers. Is how
No, I could imagine. It's just one of those things where it's like, what skews this thing is the fact that the narratives in boxing, they fill the gaps of the unknowns, right? So Devin Haney's fallen out of favor with the general public for whatever reason. Could be those comments he made a few years ago about, you know, not losing to a white boy, or it could just be the fact that he's now flossing with chains and kind of just living a bit more, you know, flamboyant nowadays. But he's come into this fight, shoved my man on the table. People don't like Haney. They do not like that guy. I'm indifferent on Haney. I'm not excited about him. I don't really care. I just know he's a good boxer and he's in the mix in this 135 era, right? But it's like you look at the Loma thing, and what's been quite interesting to me is seeing how so many boxing pages have been vocal about this potentially being racism, right? That's been fascinating. Paulie Malignaggi comes out and says people who just wanted to see the white guy lose. They just wanted to see the white guy lose. That's why white guys are not.
Is that what he said?
On video, right? Man saying people just want to see the white guy lose. People just, you know, that's why he gets saying white guys are not interested in boxing anymore. White guys care more about MMA because, you know, stuff like this happens. You know, why would anybody tune in to watch stuff like this? And I'm thinking to myself,
that sounds like from the script to Tiafimo.
Sorry?
That sounds like when Tiafimo's trying to lead to... What's going on, though?
When he's talking about you can just back those black fighters then. And I'm looking at this, but what's been different, because this ain't the first time someone said something outrageous in the boxing space. But when I'm seeing so many boxing pages saying how, or alluding to the fact that, these guys, I saw one guy do a thing about how Eastern European fighters, they just get violated in America. All these guys, and I'm thinking to myself, it's funny how you can spot racism in this case because you guys are rooting for Loma. But in any other ways, men have come out and flat out said the N-word, and there's been no movement, not even like a. I'm like, yeah, it's become loaded. The conversation has become very loaded for no reason. Do you see what I'm saying? I look at this thing and I'm like, I called this fight before this happened as a man who is not a Haney fan. I don't like his style. It does not appeal to me. There's nothing visually appealing about watching him fight. There's no power there. I don't feel like I'm watching a crazy mastery. Like, you know, when you watch Floyd win rounds and it's on points, I'm like, yeah, no, he's taking his brother to school. With Haney, I don't feel like that. So that's why I'm like, why is it so passionately fired? Like we really dining out.
Can I cut them like some bell or some slack on stuff?
Even the pound for pound list, Loma's still in it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But culturally, that like they're very quick or very like race is it's a country that is probably they're more comfortable talking about race or having race type conversations, right? Over here, it's like, as soon as you even
that's what I'm like.
Don't you? Like even
why are you bringing race into it?
Someone's going to listen to this now. Yeah, see, that's it. I'm logging off.
Why?
Yeah,
not having it.
I just want to talk about boxing now. In some places they build their fights with the race thing, like especially in America, especially it's part of it, you know. So
it's the Mexicans versus
to turn that off. The races versus the races, right? It gets into that, right? So then, while I should again, I'm looking at it from my lens and thinking, Rob, Paulie, like, what the hell are you doing? But they just do it different over there, and I have to respect that. In America, just how they brand and how they get the fight going. If you did black versus white over here as a fight, like you couldn't even get that. I want to meet the promoter that says that. That says, yo,
bro, it's insane. I just think this is one of those times where tribalism is like really leaked into this thing.
Yes.
Heavy.
Yeah.
Big time. Yeah. To an uncomfortable degree, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's caught me off guard.
It is what it is, but then again, that's what I'm saying. It's one of those things where you're understanding, and that's what my wife's working. She works in this diversity and inclusion stuff. So, and she says it's different. Every country, every space, how they approach this and part of culture is important. So again, while it feels weird for you, bro, you're not there, so you don't understand how they. You know what I mean? So it is what it is.
But it's like when I looked at the pound for pound top 10 list, right? And it's been updated now, and Devin Haney is at 8, and Lomachenko is at 10.
8.
Yeah, so you got Usyk, Inouye, Crawford.
Okay.
Errol Spence,
Usyk,
Canelo,
Inouye, Crawford, Errol Spence,
Canelo, Bivol,
yeah,
Josh Taylor, Haney, Gervonta, Lomachenko.
Josh Taylor still holding on after that, like.
Well, this is the part that makes me feel a bit interested, right? Because what is this? This thing is obviously based on opinion and wins, right? Technically, Josh Taylor didn't lose that fight. Technically, He's officially won the fight. He held undisputed. He's gone up. So realistically, him being there is, based on that situation, is nuts. Jack Catterall should be here then if Lomachenko is still going to be here, no? Because he lost in the contentious one. The fact that Lomachenko is here, and better be if he's not, is insane.
Wow.
Insane. Absolutely criminal. No one can tell me this list is based on anything other than vibes. That's it. You like Lomachenko, he's in your list. This list is no more than me saying who my top 5 light heavyweights are.
Absolutely. But remember, there's always there's just a human at the end that's making their mind up.
That's it. It's the same as Comfy Box.
And I always think that with everything, I'm like, raw, like, I hope the right humans at work today. Even like when I'm on a plane, I think, please let me do the right humans. Because you know when someone, bro, I'm not even gonna get into it because I just get mad. But sometimes you just meet the worst type of person that has come and he said, I'm on bare minimum settings. I'm not here to help. I'm not here to I'm here to make your day hard. Yeah.
It's the flight attendant when they come through and they're just like, sir, can you put your bags on the thing? It's just like, oh yeah, no, I've just shoved it underneath. It's like, and they just repeat, sir, can you please put your bags in the street? You're like, I'm gonna slap you and every other one of these man.
Yeah, no fly list, fam. All right, we gotta move on though. Whoa! If anyone looks at me like this, this.
You know what this is, yeah? Bro, go put the picture back up.
All right, cool. One second. Let me get it.
This is like a metaphor for life right here in one picture. In your finest moment, somebody is watching you thinking, I cannot wait to get this brother out of here. That's life in a nutshell. Right?
In a nutshell, like the Wolves, 50 Cent said, that's the Wolves. That's they're gonna look at you. You are now food, fam. That target that wasn't on your back, the target is there. And Shakur Stevenson has got his eyes firmly set. And what was funny was the exit strategy. Even if I still stand by it in terms of, for the people that don't know, like that's Haney's night. It's Haney's ring. Shakur Stevenson's the guest. Yeah. If he comes in, he wants to say something, he wants to say, let's get on, then you leave. I don't leave you that's my thing. This is my space. Like, and I know obviously in the there's a similar situation when I think AJ and Dillian had a conversation. But then AJ just got mad. he lost his cool and just remember he was just mad. He was just pissed off.
This man talking to me like
and he just This
I'll
one is not
all these men.
I'll line these man all up and I'll smack them up. I said we don't even hear AJ talk like that. So that's how you know that he was off the Richter scale, right? In this one, the bad blood is not really there. It's just one of those things where you have the belt, where we're in the same weight class. I want to see you, right? So for me, it felt a bit ish. I got the feeling of someone that was like, I'll rather do the dance with Tank than see my man. That's how I feel. I I'll rather go the Tank route than go and deal with what this guy's going to deal with.
It reminded me of Amir Khan. One time Kell Brook pulled up on Amir Khan. He was there, you know what I mean, in his suit and that. He was mic'd up, fam. You know they got the big thing on the back of the waist. He was there ready to get into his bag, fam. And Amir Khan was just like, yeah, no, let's do it. Let's left. Just walks out. I'm like, boy, that's fair. That's interesting. Donnie's in street clothes. Yeah, you're just there in shorts and gloves, fam.
Mad. But this is the thing that I'm saying, right? And it's one of those things where, you know, he's like, I'm looking for you. He said, what do you call it? What's that for now? He said, what do you call it?
For now, bro.
For now,
he walks off. He's like, I'm number one. He's for now, bro. For now, bro. Like,
that's crazy. And there's a confidence in the for now because it's like, and you don't have to say you're number one. Like, we saw what you did in this is my night. Like, I done this. I beat Lomachenko. I beat someone that is up there, pound for pound, is the guy, right? And this fight, like, for me, because me was saying, we're not going to see this fight. Well, interesting situation. Haney is a free agent.
That's right.
Haney can go
A
like
lot of people were speculating that the reason why he won was because Haney's the new guy there. He re-signed with them and re-te-te. Haney's come out and said we ain't signed with them. That means he's gone in there. There's no agenda for him to win, as in the judges. There's no brown envelopes from Bob Arum being slid.
Mm.
Do you know what I'm saying? So him not being with them now, he could be on free smoke because if you look at what he's done since he's got the belt, he's gone to Australia, won, went back to Australia, won. Next fight, Loma. Like, that's not a light move. Do you see what I'm saying? There's another easier fight you could have taken. You got 4 belts. There's 4 lines of mandatories you could have gone into for an opponent that's far easier, and you just get to enjoy yourself for a minute being champ. You went straight. You went straight to Loma. There's nothing to say that he won't go straight in there with Tank or a hit.
I see it happening. I see it
happening.
I'm saying? I think we're getting to a space in boxing where I think these boxers are starting to understand. Again, I keep seeing on the timeline UFC's coming. UFC's going to take the space in boxing. I know, obviously, as you're the true purist of purists, yeah, but the one thing that we can say, obviously, about the UFC is they will fight. Yeah, there's been fights that haven't really taken place, but there's going to be more action than inactivity, like we've seen with some of our champions right now, right? So that's the thing, right? So I honestly feel though the next fight for Haney, it does feel like Tank. It's like all roads needed to Tank, but it's like, how does he, with being a free agent, almost makes it easier for him to get about? Because I think if he signs back up with Eddie Hearn, he might be in a situation again. I wouldn't personally, while I'm trying to dominate American. Eddie Hearn he's quite heavy in most places, but in America there's still some bad blood. So what I would do is I'd stay on this free agent thing. Yeah, pull 100%. Up to the next place. Pull up, sort this fight out. Let's go.
It's one of the ones where you can tell that Haney and Hearn probably have a good relationship.
Absolutely.
But it's one of the ones where it's like, you got too many ops, bro. Like, too many people hate you, fam. Like, it's like on this side, you know what I mean? Like, it's gonna get rough if I'm gonna achieve what I need to achieve. And that's the part where it's like, yeah, it probably makes sense to be on a fight by fight basis everywhere you go.
At least until you secure, until they're not calling Tank the champion.
Yeah. That's right.
Let's say if you beat Tank, yeah, cool. Now I could go and sign. Because if you beat, there's one thing that Eddie Hearn will do well is when you are the champion, he'll promote you correctly. You know what I mean? Like, he'll get that part, he'll get done right. Now, if they have to come here, like, I'm the main winner and they have to see me, absolutely.
Yeah. It's a mad one though, because when you look at his journey, right, to get in the championship and all that stuff, they done him dirty, you know. Because you remember the reason why he got the email championship, that was because he wanted Loma next. Mm-hmm. Then they just did this franchise thing, and then now he was underneath, and man just got to laugh at him and say, "Oh, your email, you're not real." And he's like, "Bro, I wanted to fight my man." Then, so when he pulled
up that Ryan Garcia, he pulled up everywhere. Like, we have to, again, that's why I like him flossing now. I do. It is nice to see, like, do your thing, and you went Australia. Bro. You took a bad deal. The Australia first one, it wasn't the nicest, kindest deal to him, bro. Now's your time to flex. That's why I say I'm not like, with these fighters, I'm not madly invested. Like, I like them as fighters, but I'm not like, it's not my fight, if that makes sense. So now I can just sit back and watch it from for me, it feels like an unbiased point, just really being objective and saying, well, this is the state of the game. I do like Shakur Stevenson though. I do like him. I do enjoy. Again, I like a finisher. I like someone that's gonna be a bit ruthless in there, and he looks like, yo, this is what it could be.
I jumped off the ledge. I jumped off the ledge after Shakur's last 2 fights and I said to you on this pod, fam, he fights like Floyd. And people were just like, oh, getting precious over Floyd's name. And I'm like, no, go and look and tell me what you think.
You're talking about Pretty Boy Floyd,
I see Pretty Boy Floyd, fam.
Yeah.
Southpaw Floyd. I stand by it. I love the way he fights. That's the guy for me. Him and Tank, that fight is going to be incredible.
You got to be proud of Floyd, though, because his fledglings have been serious. Hayne, like, there's a few, the Floyd fledglings, yeah, like sons of Floyd, is crazy. Javonta, Absolutely. The first one we got to talk it. Oh man, pink gloves.
Broner, Adrian Broner.
Broner. That
He's a
was
free. He's a free weight.
son.
He's a free weight world champ.
First son. That's the first. No. That is someone that said, "I'm gonna be you," and
He
we
went too far.
We all got excited. We all thought we hit lightning struck twice and was like,
himself up.
"This is it."
He messed himself up by jumping up weight too quick and didn't. It just stopped developing because he went from Maidana thinking, "Nah, I'm gonna go match work." Floyd had to come afterwards and be like, "All right, let me show you what you're supposed to do with guys like this."
Yeah, the kids are serious, man. But now it's like, what's great is, again, you had Haney. Then there's another. I feel like I'm missing. That's it. Tank, Haney, and then Shakur stepped up into the place, and he's ruffled a few feathers. How against both of them, I see him being victorious. That's what's crazy. I still see him being victorious, but again, you have to fight. There's no victories on paper.
That Tank one there, boy. I ain't betting big on nobody against Tank.
What? Tank versus
anyone? Who? I'm not betting on against Tank in any of those fights.
I understand why you feel that way, because we do know that the guy's powerful, fam. Like,
he's a little bomb, fam. The Donny is at any moment will explode the clip, and that's it, bro. It's a mad one. It's a mad one.
All right.